Yeah, well, we're staying at the Andaz, so you keep doing that thing where you're like, the hotel's right there. Stay another hour, and another hour, and then here we are.
Yeah, I used to drink. I get it.
Wait, you quit?
Yeah.
What? I never thought I'd see the day. We're
Really?
losing everybody.
I feel like no one drinks anymore. You guys are like the last two people standing. Even Swartzen's not drinking.
Well, he
anymore.
had to quit.
Yeah.
And
I'm glad he
Bert.
quit.
Bert quit. No one saw that coming.
We were in a bar last night where Swartzen met me, and he rolled in with a green juice, and I was like, I never thought I'd see the day, man. I was happy to see it.
Yeah.
And we had wings. He wasn't eating wings. I was like, all right.
Well, Nick will be like, I'm sober now. I've been sober for 2 years. I'm like, when's the last time you had a drink? He's like, a year ago. I'm like, well, that's not. Like, I get it.
Damn, Swartzen. That's like when Jordan went to basketball or baseball. It's over.
He came back, though, so I hope not.
That's true. He'll be back. He'll be back.
Don't say that.
It's Nick.
That's fucking bad, though.
Well,
You don't
maybe
want to root for people to fall back on who have a problem.
Well, maybe he'll come back and own it. Like he'll just have a beer at dinner.
I don't think that's how it works.
Okay.
Did you have a problem, or did you just?
I outgrew it, I say. You know, like everyone around me stopped drinking, and I was like, I used to be the one who was like still kind of in control, and all of a sudden I'm the only one slurring, and I was like, this feels weird as I get older. That I was like, I'm happy to leave it behind, and it's been like. You go to I went to dinner with Swartzen last night, and the bill was like $200, and I'm like, this would have been $1,000 dinner when we were drinking.
That's true.
I don't miss it. I don't miss it.
It's unnecessary at times.
But yeah, I'm 4 years as a couple weeks ago. Yeah.
Damn.
Do you ever get bored? I mean, that's the big thing for me. Like, you feel great, but I do get bored.
I was still smoking pot for a while. I gave up pot in October, and like I'll get back to my hotel room after a show and be like, now what?
Exactly.
You know, like now what do I do? But I read a lot of books.
Yeah,
that's like my.
I picked up a book from your ex. I'm gonna read the Stoner one. So did Matt Peters.
Cool. Yeah, Stoner is the great American novel. I say.
Yeah, I've heard it. I've saw other people wreck it, and then I saw you, and I was like, it takes like 3 people now for me.
Sure.
With a show or a book, it's like I need like 3 different.
That's the hard thing about being a book guy is that you can't get into a conversation without walking away with 3 recommendations.
Yeah.
You know, it's like I can't read all of these, so you're always just piling up books.
Man, to go from booze to books is pretty good. That's like what our parents wanted, and here we are.
Yeah,
booze to books.
I don't regret my drinking days. I just truly outgrew it, and it wasn't a health thing. It was just like, you know, as you get older, it becomes a worse look.
Right.
You know, when you're like just like the sweaty, smiley guy at the bar, it just as you get older, it's like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
You have to hang out with other sweaty, smiley guys, and then you're like, look at this fucking loser. And
exactly.
And then you're like, oh yeah, that's me.
Well, I would come here and I would have like 2 beers before my set, and I was the only one having 2 beers before my set. That I was like, okay, I don't miss not being that guy.
Yeah, and the hangovers. I mean, just this is horrible. You wake up fresh as a daisy.
Not really. I don't sleep great. I thought like my sleep would be amazing, but it's normal.
Are you a coffee guy?
Yes.
That's the sleep.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I had to quit coffee for like a month, and I was like, I'm falling asleep naturally. I'm not taking pills.
I just do it for first thing in the morning, and I take pills because I grind my teeth so crazy. That I take a muscle relaxer at night, and that helps me sleep. If I don't have that, like it's a problem.
Every night a muscle relaxer?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Damn. That's why you seem so relaxed right
Yeah.
now. You seem chill.
Well, I've been waiting for you guys for like 45
We were
minutes.
waiting outside for you. We were like, I want to know what car he pulls up, and we were like taking bets. I was like, he seems like a Porsche guy. No,
I knew it.
No.
For some reason, I was like, he doesn't have kids. A 2-seater makes sense to me.
I got a 4-door. I got the green Audi out there.
I called it.
Oh, okay.
I said Audi.
Yeah.
Audi's comfortable. It's a nice car.
But I live close by, so it was easy to get here early. I'm not right next door like you guys.
How did you slip by? Did you go through the front door?
No, I walked in. They were loading in booze, so I just kind of walked in.
Oh man, we missed you.
Yeah,
That's
too bad. But
nice Audi.
Now we're here.
What's your routine when you write? Is it every day?
It was like in the beginning when I am like starting the new hour, I just like every day as much as I can. My big thing was like right before I went to bed, I went from writing in a laptop to a notebook. My brother had gotten me a notebook for Christmas, and I used to hate writing in notebooks. But he got me one. He got me a sketch pad by mistake. And by not having lines, all of a sudden I could just sit there. Like my handwriting's so bad.
Yeah.
The lines like made me feel like I was back in school, but just being able to write in like a blank page, I would write like 5 or 6 jokes a night right before I went to bed, and then wake up in the morning and like remember the jokes. It felt like an elf came in the middle of the night and wrote jokes for me.
Right.
And I just like trying those out. And now I'm at like 50, 55 minutes of my set. And that last 5 minutes or 10 minutes is really tough.
Yeah.
Because I've covered so many things in the hour that now I'm just like trying to find it on the stage. You know, I've got a couple bits that I've come up with that I just try to, every weekend, try to have something new to fill up that hour. But for like, I mean, you know this, that like an hour of a guy who just talks, you can do like an hour 20 easy. But when you're doing one-liner type stuff, I'm like, hey, it's 55 minutes, but like you guys should be cool with that. Because it's like, it's back to back.
Exactly.
Like, I'm not fucking around at all.
No filler, no fluff.
Well, we have the same tour manager, and I'll ask him sometimes, I'm like, how much time does Jeselnik do? Because I'm doing jokes too. So I'm like, I want to know like, what's appropriate.
Yeah.
You know, but then you hear about some people doing an hour 30, which I'm like, what the fuck are you doing?
That's too long. The other show's waiting. I asked Brian one time. I was like, Brian, like I'm at 55 minutes. Is like, are people like feeling ripped off? And he goes, you don't understand what I've seen people do to get to an hour. You know what I mean? Where they're like
talking about me,
bringing people on stage and like shit that like your 55 is worth more than most people's hours. That I hope to get to 60 by the time I go to theaters in the fall. But if it's 58, like it's a rock solid 58. So.
Yeah. There's gonna be way more punchlines in that 58 than the other guy's 1 hour 30.
Yeah.
It's more
the
machine
density
gun.
matters, I think.
Yeah, for sure.
You know,
I think so.
Because you think about, there's some movies that you're just like, okay, this didn't need to be 3 hours.
Of course.
You
But
know?
someone's always going to complain, and it's like, how much do those complaints bother you? I'll see hey, he only did 55, and I'm like, only one person. Like, I still got, applause. People were still happy when they left.
Yeah.
That I think it's okay.
Yeah, well, I just put out a special, I don't know, 3 weeks ago, and you're back to square one. And it's kind of like drinking, where I'm too old. I don't know if I can keep doing this rapid fire, this many jokes in a row again. So I have 2 stories now, which I've never done.
Really?
Yeah, it's hard.
I always think that like people are like, what are you going to do now? You can do something different.
Right.
And this time it like made me mad. That they were like, what do you like? I was like, I'm just going to make the jokes even shorter. And I always want to have a story. I've had stories before that I've like burned on late night. Because I used to bomb on the couch on late night so hard because you can't just tell your jokes.
Right.
I'm like, my persona and my me, that I just wrote bits that I was doing on stage that were like doing great. Well, I'm like, it's like it could be a 20-minute bit, but I'm going to burn it on Kimmel. And I was like, what was I doing? Like, what was I thinking?
Yeah.
But if I have stories now, they must have to be about jokes. Otherwise, it seems like the audience is like waiting for the twist. And then like, what's going on that I like writing jokes, I'd rather do that.
But it's hard to keep burning hours without changing up the rhythm for a second. Because your rhythm, it's like Dangerfield, where it's like he would have to throw in a little crowd work to break up the rhythm, right?
Sure.
And I've seen you do like a quick thing just to like throw them off a little, right?
I used to do, now I have like sillier jokes to throw them off. I used to do crowd work a little bit, and then I stopped because everyone was doing crowd work.
Right.
And I was like, this feels hack to me. I don't judge people for doing it, but it made me want to stop doing it.
Sure.
That now I'm just like, let me see if I can just go do the opposite of what people were criticizing me for and just make it like, just double down basically.
Right. Yeah, it's hard. I think when you're, I always talk to Mark about this because Mark's got all these great stories he tells and he never puts them in specials. And I just think like we keep burning material. Like at a certain point.
That's what I'm saying.
I also like having a story at the end just to kind of like change up the rhythm of what they're expecting. Because I can't do too many like set up punch in a row without them being like, all right, we get it.
Right.
That's why I stopped podcasting was I felt like I was like, I'm burning creativity. Even if it's a story I wouldn't use. People are like, I see so many comics now where they're like, I saw the show, I like them better on the podcast. And I was like, I'd rather be better on stage. But I've tried to tell a story at the end, wrap it up. Like I had like thoughts and prayers where I had like a big thing about social media at the end. And like the audience is like, tell some more fucking jokes. Like we'd rather hear jokes from you. And I'm like, okay, let me just stick to that and make it great. And if you put yourself in a box, if you back yourself into a corner, you'll find a way.
Yeah, that's true. But that is annoying when I read a bunch of my comments and they're like, same stuff, same formula. Come on, when's he going to evolve? And I'm like, can't this just be my thing? Can't my thing be the jokes?
I thought about you because I saw some of those comments
Oh,
And
I wrote a few of them. I was a little sick of it.
but I think like when you're a one-liner guy, we're a joke guy like we are, it's about the live performance. That
Right.
when you're doing the show and you're doing joke after joke, the audience is going fucking crazy. And then when you're watching it on a screen, it's different. That
Right,
like
yeah,
we're we're built for the live show.
Yes.
The special is just like, hey, I'm done with this stuff. You can see it. But it's
Exactly.
not the same as someone who's on their phone, on their couch, doing fucking dishes, listening to a story. You know, that it's like, what is your job? And I decided my job is the live show.
To kill.
That I enjoy that more. Like I'll take questions during check drop. And people are like, is this going to be a special? And I'm like, I'm performing for you live right now. Like, this is the special thing.
I think your
that
stuff
you get to
translates
come and
very
do.
well, though. I disagree. I think jokes actually translate better than stories to specials because the jokes can be clipped. They can, the stories you have to be fully engaged, and people don't have the attention span these days.
It works well for clips, but people can like tune out, especially with the same kind of rhythm. Like, and I'm just like, that's okay to not enjoy the special as much as the live show. Like with a live audience, the energy is crazy when you just go joke, joke, joke. That I'm okay with people being like, the special gets boring. Like, then get bored. Everything is fucking boring if you sit there and watch, whatever on TV all day.
Yeah.
So it doesn't. That criticism doesn't affect me anymore.
Okay,
I've
thank
thought
you.
about
I was spiraling over that shit.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
I was really losing it. I was like, should I change? Should I get a new thing? A shtick?
I mean,
a
I didn't
puppet?
say you shouldn't change.
Ah!
But, don't feel bad about
Damn it.
about the comments.
All right, thanks.
Do you have any jokes where you're like, this is my favorite joke and it never hits?
Yes, I have one that I like found a way to cram it in. Like I had this joke that I wrote down like in my book late at night, and I just started crying laughing. I was like, this is so funny to me. And a lot of times that's a red flag.
Yeah.
Like when I'm like, think this is too funny, and then I went to Largo and tried it out, and the audience was just like, no. But Zach Galifianakis was on the side of the stage, like crying with laughter, and like ran up to me afterwards and was like, "That's so amazing! Don't listen to the audience." And I would keep trying it, and would keep bombing. And I would see Zach, and he'd be like, "How's that joke going?" And I'm like, well, "You would not believe how badly it's going." And now I just do a thing where I'm like, I don't care anymore. Like I've been doing this for almost 25 years. Like this is what I like. I'm just gonna tell it to you. You don't have to like it, but I love this joke. And then that kind of sells it a little bit. But I have to literally set it up as like, this is a joke that horrifies people.
Yeah.
But it is the funniest thing I've ever thought of in my life.
Once you say that, they're kind of like, all right. It really changes the whole
Yes.
dynamic of the
You're
joke.
trying to make them feel cool by
Yeah.
liking it.
Like Jimmy Carr told me, like I had a bunch of jokes. It was like an early special. I think it may have been Caligula, like my Comedy Central special. And I was like, I've got these jokes that are like almost it gets darker. Where like the darker stuff, I don't know where to put it in. It's like, it should go at the end. And he was like, do what I do. And he's like, he just gave it to me. He was like, do what I do and just say, let's see how dark I can get. I'm going to tell jokes that get progressively darker. And we'll see. And then they love every one of them. And it's an easy thing to do. And I was like, oh, I can have that. And he's like, take it.
Wow.
Like, it's yours.
It's just the packaging of it. It's how you
Exactly.
present it.
Exactly.
That's smart. Because if you come out with a dark one, they're just like, Jesus. But if you introduce it like that, it changes everything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was opening my new hour on a Charlie Kirk joke, and for my crowd, it was crushing. And I got off stage one night, and Neil Brennan was like, "Don't open the hour on that. You're gonna lose people. Put it like 7 minutes in." I was like, "Actually, I like that a lot," and I end up doing that. But see, you would have liked to open on it.
I have a Charlie Kirk opener right now.
Yeah.
I have.
He was like,
never
"People are
taken-
gonna shut it off immediately," and I was like, "All right."
I have never taken advice from Neil Brennan. And he has given me a lot. And then he'll be like, you were right. And I'm like, I know.
okay.
Like
I think he was right about this one. I'm glad I listened to it. And actually, it segued better in the middle than it is an opener. It felt like I was trying to be too offensive out of the gate,
Sure.
See,
I'm sure
Anthony-
we have different Charlie Kirk jokes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Opening with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's not even about him. It references him, but it is a Charlie Kirk joke. But it's not like I'm not trying to draw a line in the sand. Even though
Sure.
I enjoy doing that.
Yeah.
My audience knows me well enough now.
Yeah, we leak.
That-
People know.
Yeah.
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 But
Well, Carlin used to come out with the worst thing, and where we'd run on stage and be like, hold on. Do you guys know that, have you noticed that the women against abortion are people you wouldn't fuck in the first place?
Right.
And you're like, wow, it's a fun opener.
it's a good joke.
Great joke.
I was in New York, and I remember hearing about a set. They were like, Doug Stanhope's in town. And they're like, it was the most amazing thing I've ever seen, where for 45 minutes he's bombing. He's bombing so hard that Todd Barry and oh my God, Skanks for the Memories. Attell are in the back. And he's asking them, would you guys mind coming on stage at the end and doing some time so the audience feels like they have a show? And they're just like, they don't know what to say. But it's like 45 minutes of bombing, and then all of a sudden, Stanhope just like turns on a dime and just starts ranting about his career and complaining, and then murders. They were like murders for 45 minutes, and it was the best show they've ever seen.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't know why people are too fucking stupid. They got to have a picture of him up there, but okay.
Oh, that guy.
No, he took that picture. That's what he's
and
showing. He's bragging.
Okay, that makes a little more sense.
He showed up loaded to our pod at like noon. It was a fun one.
And I was like, that's incredible to bomb for 45 and then have the whole audience, even comics, being like, oh my God, and then turning it around. And I went to go see him the next night, and it was just 45 minutes of him doing a set. Like, I think he really just had a bad time that night and was able to pull it out. But I think Stanhope, is the greatest.
The greatest?
Yeah.
He's your favorite comic?
I think he's the best. Like, he's like, my favorite comics are guys like Dangerfield, Stephen Wright, had the guys who were true one-liner joke guys. But the people that I admire the most are guys like Stanhope, who like donated his body and his mind to comedy.
Yeah.
Like, he dresses like that for comedy. Guys like Chris Rock that I was lucky enough to tour with, and I was like, I'm going to study everything he does for these 3 months we're going through Europe. And after 2 nights, I was like, there's nothing I can learn. He's a genius. Like, I would watch how he prepped, but there was nothing I could glean from it.
Right.
He tried to give me a joke once.
Really?
It was like, this reference isn't working, try this. And I was like, I don't use other people's stuff.
You never take a tag?
Never. People like try, and I'm like, please don't. Like, I enjoy writing too much. I'd rather find it on my own. And he was like, Louis got a joke of mine in his act. Like, Seinfeld's got a joke of mine. Like, don't be a dick. And the crew was like, Anthony, what are you doing? Like, take his fucking joke. And after a week of convincing me, I'm finally like, all right, I'll try it. And it bombs. And the crew starts laughing, and they're like, I've never seen someone so happy to have a joke bomb. Like, I was thrilled because if it worked, I would have had to keep it.
Right.
But I was like, no, your reference didn't work. So I was very happy. Yeah.
So it's funny because Attell says Stanhope's the best too. That's his favorite. I
think he absolutely is. Just like the stories he tells, the jokes he has. I think he because every comic's like, I don't give a fuck. They all like to say that.
Yeah.
But very few really follow through.
Very few go to Ukraine and fire weapons into Russia.
Yes.
He actually gives no fuck.
I mean, Stanhope moved to Bisbee and just like does what he wants to do, and everything he does is for comedy.
Yes.
That Bobby
I think
Barnett
he's the most
bit,
pure.
The one on Something to Take the Edge Off, that closer, that story. It's all, he can do social commentary. He can tell a funny personal story.
Oh, yeah.
He's one of the best of all time, I think, for sure.
I mean, they're just, truly the greatest, I think.
Yeah.
Have you seen him going to the town hall meetings in Bisbee, those clips?
I've seen a few. Yeah.
I mean, he's just doing like, what do you call those? It's like a community service or press conference where you can just go up and talk about shit, like complain about a pothole, but he uses it for stage time and he open mics it. You could pull that up. It's just hilarious.
Have you guys ever been to Bisbee? To his
No. Have you been there?
Yeah, I went once, and he had like a party, and I went with a friend, and the party was really fun. But the town is like, it's a beautiful place. Like, it really has the best like weather in the world. Like it's just like you're comfortable all the time. But then I went to one restaurant, and I was like, I would never fucking come back here. Like it was like one of those where you really have to be self-contained. But I liked it.
I would love to go. I'm a huge fan and all that, but I feel like it would get sad after like 3 hours being there at his house.
It was. I mean, there was a bunch of different comics there. We did shows. They had bands play. Like it was a fun weekend. But I have not been back. He had said once, he's like, he gets more joy from making the greeter at a Walmart laugh when he walks by than he does from killing in front of an audience. Like just that little joke he tells when he walks by someone brings him more joy. And now the older I get, the more I feel that. The more like making some old person laugh with some like offhanded comment who has no idea who you are is more fun than an audience who's primed and paid money who wants to come see the act. You know?
That's true. Do you have the thing? Because in New York, a lot of guys will do we'll kill on the road. You got your people. And then you kind of go back to the clubs, and you struggle a little bit because it's not your people. Do you have that in LA where you can work out in front of randos?
I only have the one act. You know, I've never had like, oh, this is like, they're out of towners, let me change it up. Like, you see the movie. And so I'll struggle sometimes at like the Improv, and it's like Chelsea Handler's crowd. Like Chelsea Handler's at the end. I'm like, why am I doing so badly?
Yeah.
And everyone looks like Chelsea Handler. And I'm like, okay, like I get what's going on here. But I'm happy to struggle there. Because then when I go out and do it on the road for my audience, like I kill even harder. That it's like going to the gym, you know, versus like playing the game.
Right.
That like I did my Netflix is a Joke show Tuesday in like a theater of 2,000 people, and after doing clubs for like a few months, it was great just to feel how different it was. Then I'm glad I was doing these like smaller shows to get to that. But I only have the one act.
Same.
If I'm gonna bomb, like let's bomb. But I don't have any saves. I don't have any kind of like, let me tone it down a little bit for this audience.
But do you get mad? You go, hey, this is good stuff. You're psychos at the Improv. Like, if it's good, it's good.
I learned to be a professional. I learned from like being at the Improv on a bad night. And I see Sarah Silverman go up, who I think the world of. And she's just acting like it's going great. And I'm like, oh, that's what a professional does, is like people are still there to see Sarah Silverman. And they might be a bad crowd, but I'm like, if they're seeing Anthony Jeselnik, like I want to give them that experience and not be like, you guys are terrible. Or like, this is a bad crowd, that I just like act like I'm still the best.
Right.
You know, like you aren't giving me the reaction that I would want. Maybe it's a half-filled room, but I'm going to give you the act to the best of my ability.
Yeah, I like that, because you see a lot of these guys, like third guy in a row, like, you guys suck, fuck you, and the crowd's like, we do? Yeah. We didn't know that.
I don't do that, but I can't just tell jokes and bomb. I have to be like, I'm aware this is not going well. I need to do something.
Sure, you got to acknowledge.
I won't blame them, but I'll be like, okay, like I need to address it somehow, or I just feel crazy. I feel like I'm on a date with someone who fucking clearly hates me. And I'm just like, this is good.
I'll say things, but it's like in a positive way. I'm like, you guys are an amazing crowd to try out new jokes in front of, right? Like this is my target demographic.
Sure, like sarcasm.
And, they understand, but I don't let them see me sweat or think anything is wrong, because again, there are people there who might never see me again. Totally. And I want to just be professional. I learned that from Sarah Silverman. I remember seeing Tom Papa perform the day Greg Giraldo died.
Yeah.
And we all went to the cellar to like mourn, and everyone's like crying. And I'm like, I can't imagine going on stage right now. And I walk through the room, and Tom Papa's up there killing like nothing happened.
He's doing Greg's jokes. He's stolen.
I was like, that is professionalism, and that kind of like, I'll never forget that.
Yeah.
So I just try to make it as professional as I can.
I saw Tom. I went to the Giraldo benefit at the Beacon, and Tom hosted, and it was like such a fucking masterclass.
He's a pro
on MC, and just. People were coming in. It was a hell gig to open, and he killed. It was awesome.
He doesn't get his due as one of the great comics. I used to open for him.
He does. I think.
I feel like no one throws him in the ring. We love you, Tom. He's opening with a Charlie Kirk joke now. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, I mean, that was a stacked lineup. That benefit, it was cool. Seinfeld came in, and like Attell and Lewis Black. It was all these people just like bringing their A game. It was cool.
Yeah. I didn't get to know him that well at the cellar, because I knew him from the roast a little bit, and he was always great to me. But I didn't realize at the cellar, like he would like miss spots for like a week, and I was like, "What's going on with Giraldo?" And like everyone knew but me. Like I didn't know like what was happening. And then after he passed, I would hear stories of how miserable he was kind of toward the end, and like doing the roasts. He like hated doing the roasts.
Really?
Hated them. Like liked it in the beginning, and then just felt like he was stuck doing them. And one of the reasons I like did 3 and then got out was like I was just thought about Giraldo.
Whoa.
And like having to repeat it, doing jokes. Like Jesse Joyce wrote a lot of his material toward the end because he was just like, I don't care.
Right. Some of those are amazing jokes, though.
You know the Artie Lang story, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's like flying him there, and then just
had to help him.
Yeah, and then trashing him as soon as he got on stage. Like
his opener was already, "You fat fucking drug addict."
Yeah, and then they looked at each other
like, I gotta do what I gotta do.
Gotta do it.
Damn.
I miss Artie a lot too. I hope he's all right. I mean, one of the best dudes. So.
He seems fine. he seems totally fine.
The fact that he outlived Norm is crazy.
And
no one saw
Saget.
that coming.
He'll outlive everyone.
That's true. So will Stanhope probably. It's like Stanhope is our Keith Richards. Oh, that looked like me this morning in the mirror. Jesus.
I remember Artie Lang's joke about how NBA is all about education. He's like, oh, yeah, well, don't go from high school to the NBA. Yeah, right. If you're really about education, then get rid of the dunk contest and have a spelling bee. He goes, would you rather see them dunk again or watch Stephon Marbury spell Wednesday? I remember being like, holy shit.
Yeah.
That's a good bit.
That's great.
Yeah. Love Artie.
Incredible.
Yeah.
So quick, too, on pods and everything was so fucking quick.
Mm-hmm.
Geraldo was fun, too, because it was fun to see a guy that smart, that prolific, and also a mess. I feel like we've kind of lost that in the arts. You know, you used to have like a Bukowski type and all that, but now it's everyone's.
Well, he was like a
green
rock
juice.
and roll, but also had the Harvard law thing. So you're
Yes.
like, oh, you got a little bit of everything.
Mm-hmm.
It was kind of cool.
That's true.
I always wanted to like hang with him and like get to know him at the cellar, and it would just be him like on the phone with like Sprint corporate, like yelling at them about his plan. Like that, I was like, I don't want to talk. I can't. What am I going to say now that I've just heard him screaming at someone? Like he was just never in that place. But during the roasts, he would like the last roast he did. I was a writer on it, and I had to do audience warm up. Where they were talking about putting me on that roast in the middle. So I'm like waiting to hear the news. Like, am I on this roast? And they call me in and they're like, we'd love for you to do warm up. And I was like
What?
so dejected. And it was like,
Which roast was this?
it was the Hasselhoff roast.
I thought you were on there.
And no, I was on the Trump one, the next one. And Jeff Ross had been like, he's been giving away his best jokes for 2 weeks. Like, don't stick him in here. And Hasselhoff didn't want me. Hasselhoff wanted like a bigger star. And rightly so. But they call me and they're like, you're doing warm up. And I can't say no because I think if I say no, maybe they don't put me on the next roast. But I was like, this is the worst gig you can get.
You're also so not a warm up guy.
Exactly.
Crazy choice.
Exactly.
And look, respect. You need warm up guys. It's a thankless gig, but it's not your act. I hate going first myself, even not first on a show.
Oh yeah. And they would tell me, they were like, you get a laugh and then you wait until you tell the next joke so we can use your laughs for the roast. And I'm like, you're not making me like this more.
Yeah.
But Geraldo, like I saw him before at the red carpet and I'm like, yeah, I'm doing warm up. And he's like, you doing fucking warm up? And then he like pumped me up. And I remember walking out on that stage and Geraldo, because the dais is out there, and Geraldo stands up and gives me a standing ovation and is like, yeah. And I was like, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. Like that meant the world to me.
Wow.
That he like got me through that. I've got like Pam Anderson heckling me behind me, but Geraldo's like standing up at every joke and clapping.
Damn.
And I didn't understand what my job was at doing warm up. And so I'm roasting people in the audience. And I remember Jeff Ross even afterwards was like, I can't believe how you did like 8 fat jokes about Nicole Eggert. And I was like, I thought like she would be cool with it. And they're like, no one's cool with it. They're in the audience. They didn't know they were getting roasted. Like it was a terrible, terrible gig. But Geraldo like truly got me through it. And then we talked, after the roast, hugged him. And that was the last time I saw him.
Damn.
I remember we watched Geraldo at comics back in the day.
Yes.
And we were just super young. And what was it, like 2009 or 10?
Something like that.
It was his last headlining gig there for sure. But I just remember there's just audio of us like high-fiving in between. We were so happy. We're like, oh my God, that joke's fucking... It was a great hour. It was his last hour, I guess. But
yeah,
he was a dude that did social commentary. He did like the self-deprecating stuff.
Yeah.
Like he hit every part you'd want as a comic.
I mean, his bit about the worst president of all time is
Amazing.
still
What's
is
that one again?
It's about the worst. They were saying Bush is the worst president of all time, and he's like,
Oh,
like,
yes, Selena.
Yeah.
Yes.
the president of the Selena fan club.
Yeah.
He goes, and then he added that tag too about Cheney at the end. Remember?
no.
Getting shot in the face.
She got shot in the face. That's more vice presidential behavior.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fun.
So it's like, he always had that one last, like the fucking joke about. Remember the joke he had about he heard a guy in the track go, "Yo, Monica, you got AIDS,"
Right.
And he's like, which is already hilarious, but he's like, "That's how they tell you."
Oh,
He's
so
like, "That
good.
Michael Moore's right. We have the worst fucking healthcare." Always added the extra. You're like, all right, the joke's done. No, it's not. He's always got the one last punch. Yeah, he was one of my favorites for sure.
His bit about soulmates, a gay lion tamer got with a
Yes.
gay lion tamer. Oh man,
Brilliant.
He was great. Whatever happened to him?
No, one of the best, man. And then it's interesting because he did a lot of, like, we talking about Rock. Rock does a lot of that stuff that
Yes.
where he kind of pushes you away in the setup and then brings you back in the punch.
I mean, Rock's process is like, it would kill me It would truly kill me to try to do it the way he does.
What do you mean?
Like just standing on stage, looking at the ground, going, what else? For like minutes.
Crazy.
And the audience is rapt. They're like, the audience isn't complaining. They're not like, what's going on? But if I'm not like joke, like I'm losing it, where he can just stand up there and find something. And a lot of times nothing comes, but his process is just like, I'm going to hang out up here.
Yeah.
The audience is totally cool with me being up here. I'm Chris Rock. But I would melt. I would be just a ball of sweat. And he is just so calm and composed doing it with nothing.
Yeah.
With nothing.
And not just nothing, kind of controversial topics too. Like he'll come out there and say, like I remember he had this whole bit about these movies now where women beat up all like a lady action star is beating up like 10 guys. And he's like, man, I could beat your ass. All three of you, if you came out, I could kick all your asses. And the women, they weren't into it. But he's just locked in.
That wasn't a bit. He was threatening some women in the club that night. It was pretty weird.
He would tell me jokes. He would tell me jokes that would make me like fall on the floor laughing. Like this would be the centerpiece of my act if I had this joke. And he was like, I can't do it because I don't want to like hurt my family's feelings. And I was like, I would throw my family under the bus for that joke so hard.
Yeah.
But he just has like incredible stuff that he's like, it's not worth telling. Like he really thinks about his image and in a way that like beyond the joke that I would not have the ability to do.
Yeah, he told a story years ago about it. They asked him to do the porn awards, and he was like, nah. And then Jeff Ross did it, and then a year later he got offered Madagascar, and he's like, they wouldn't give me that if I did the porn awards. I can't be on this Disney cartoon.
Yeah.
And also, it's like his career's going well enough. He doesn't have to do the porn awards regardless.
Wow, that's true too.
Yeah,
remember when he did like the MTV like music awards and just like roasted everyone?
Yes.
Like I remember he introduced NSYNC as who likes lip syncing, who likes lip syncing. He didn't even say their name, and then that was it. And this was when like you could kind of. He was a big enough star and MTV was a big enough thing that you could do that, but he truly didn't give a fuck.
I heard he called Nicole Eggert fat too. But, no, he.
That's a brutal gig too.
Oh, brutal.
Oh, my God. You bombed it.
I did the warm-up. I didn't do, like, actually the TV stuff, but, like, I remember Sebastian had a weird one, and I think Silverman. It's kids. Hey, folks. I'm hungover on the road, but duty calls. We're in a green room in Wisconsin. Cheers, health! You know you're getting older when 2 drinks somehow feels like 12 the next morning. Tell me about it. And the annoying part is you can do everything right. Drink, water, eat food, go to bed early, and still wake up feeling rough and foggy. And change that O to an A. That's why I tried Cheers Restore. You take it after your drink or before bed, and it works while you sleep. I was honestly skeptical at first, but I woke up feeling way more normal than I expected. Better sleep, clear head, and more energy the next day. Cheers Restore helps your body metabolize alcohol efficiently and supports overall liver health. And their whole thing is you wake up feeling at least 50% better or your money back. Take Cheers Restore after your last drink or before going to bed and wake up feeling at least 50% better or your money back. For a limited time, our listeners get 20% off their entire order while using code WMBD at cheershealth.com. Just head to cheershealth.com and use code WMBD for 20% off. After you purchase, they will ask you where you heard about them. Please support the show and tell them we sent you. Hey, folks. I'm hungover. I'm gay. Mars Men. Yeah, getting older is realizing your body doesn't work the same anymore. In your 20s, you can skip dessert for 2 days and suddenly have abs. Now your stomach hangs on to everything for dear life. Ain't that the truth? A lot of guys think it's just getting older and drinking beer more often, but testosterone naturally drops as you age, which can make it harder to stay lean and easier to gain fat. Yikes. That's why I started taking Mars Men. It's a natural supplement designed to support healthy testosterone levels, energy, workout performance, and recovery. No weird stimulants or synthetic hormones either. Just ingredients like Tongat Ali, I think that's a rapper, Shilajit, zinc, boron, and more. No weird stimulants. I read that already. I've noticed better consistency in the gym, steadier energy during the day, and overall just feeling more switched on. Plus, it's a third-party tested and made in the U.S. of A., which I always like seeing with my supplements. For a limited time, our listeners get 50% off for life, plus free shipping and 3 free gifts. Whoa! What are you, the 3 wise men? Frankincense and myrrh. I think that's one of the jokers. Go to marsmen.com. That's mengotomars.com. Sorry, don't go to marsmen.com. mengotomars.com. That's mengotomars.com for 50% off and 3 free gifts when you check out. After you purchase, they will ask how you heard about them. Well, support the show, tell them we sent you, and get yourself some tea. Baby. All right, go. Hey, folks, I'm in the Milwaukee Improv Green Room. I got to tell you about Hims for Sexual Health ED. ED is way more common than most people think, but thankfully now you don't have to do that awkward doctor waiting room anymore. Thank Jesus. Hims connects you with licensed healthcare providers online, giving you simple access to legitimate ED treatment options from home. You complete a quick online intake, a provider reviews your information. If all and prescribed, treatment ships directly to your door in discreet packaging. That's what I call my junk. That includes Sildenafil, also known as generic Viagra, available through Hims at 95% less than the brand name version. Man, I'm hard just thinking about it. And if that's not the right fit, they've got other treatment options too, so you can find what works best for you. To get simple online access to personalized, affordable care for ED, hair loss, weight loss, and more, visit hims.com/drunk. That's hims.com/drunk for your free online visit. hims.com/drunk. Prescription required. See website for details and safety information. Sildenafil is a generic version of Viagra. Viagra is a registered trademark of Viatris Specialty LLC. Hims is not affiliated or endorsed by Viatris. It's easy to get hard. Hey, folks, I'm hungover in a green room in Wisconsin. Avocado green mattress. Getting older means realizing a mattress can genuinely change your life. If I sleep badly, my whole next day is shot. Mood's off, body hurt, energy gone. That's why we're excited about Avocado Green Mattress. Their certified mattresses are specifically designed to relieve pressure points, support your body the way it needs, and help you actually get deep sleep and restorative sleep. I could have used that last night. Everything feels intentionally made instead of mass-produced junk. You can tell they focus on real craftsmanship and quality materials. The mattress is super supportive while still being comfortable, and I like that they're built with natural certified organic materials that actually last. It's one of those purchases where you spend a little more up front, but you're using it every single night, so it's worth it in the investment in the quality. Avocado products are made, not manufactured, and thoughtfully crafted with real materials to deliver lasting comfort and support. Go to avocadogreenmattress.com/drunk to check out their mattress and furniture sale. That's avocadogreenmattress.com/drunk. avocadogreenmattress.com/drunk.
I remember Dane Cook at like the height of his popularity was like, and just fucking bombed. I was like, this is crazy.
Yeah.
Well, the audience doesn't want to see comedy.
No.
They're there for themselves. Like those are truly the worst gigs you
It's
can
the Oscars
have.
for kids, basically. It's even worse than the Oscars.
You have to just pretend like it's going great. Like those award shows.
Yeah.
Like Joe Coy doing the Golden Globes. Like nobody wants to hear your shit. The audience at home does. So you have to pretend that that it's like going great. Just pretend. And if you try to play to fucking Jack Nicholson, who's like 6 martinis deep, like you're going to bomb, that it's just a horrible gig. No, and like award shows, I remember someone described it as a room that just fills up with losers. Like as the awards go on, people are just like, my award's over, I lost. Yeah. And then like it just gets worse and worse. So it's a total hell gig. When seeing Jimmy Kimmel like just crush it because he just has the timing, knows what the reaction to it expect, and knows he's playing to the TV at home, like it's masterful.
Yeah,
like,
Conan
too.
He
can really host.
But I feel like
Conan's incredible. Yeah.
Conan's unbelievable. I feel like Rock kind of got screwed a little bit when he hosted the Oscars because that was like right when the sensitivity was turning.
Sure.
And I remember Sean Penn came out like, Jude Law is a great American actor. I'm like, you're all rich and getting laid by everyone. Take a fucking joke.
He's joking.
Yeah.
But yeah, Rock has so many of those. He gave me confidence in a joke that never fucking worked.
Right.
Where I saw him and he was like, oh, I've been telling people this joke of yours. And I was like, it's never worked. But then I told it for like another 2 weeks because of him. And I was like, nah, it doesn't work.
That's what I always loved when comics would talk you into bombing.
Yeah.
Where they'd be like, that joke, like, don't listen to people, like that joke. And then like after like 6 months, you're like, why am I killing the momentum in my set? I'm going to drop this.
Yeah.
I did the thing where I'm like finding different lead-ins and it's still... You know, it's one you stick in a Word document and maybe someday, but that you have those, you know.
I got to ask, was it weird doing Last Comic Standing? Because that's such a weird networky industry show. It just didn't feel like that was cool. They hired you, but
Norm was on that season too.
That's true. Norm was.
I only did it because of Norm, and I thought if they're hiring me, they want me to be me.
Yeah,
and they did not.
Nah, they never do.
They were like, you have total script control. So I sat down with Frank Sebastiano and we wrote the scripts. Like we would just write.
Who wrote Dirty Work, right? Frank Sebastiano?
Yeah. One of the best joke writers of all time. And we sat and I had a joke for everyone's intro, got cut. Every single person I introduced with a joke, cut all of them. They cut all of anything that I would have like wanted to do. And I remember like Norm and I would get into fights live on the air.
Yeah.
Like it did not work out between us for the first like 4 episodes. And then we figured it out. And we're like far apart. Like Keenan Ivory Wayans wanted to fucking kill me. Roseanne was being like as nice as she could just like to avoid my wrath because I was roasting everyone, treating it like it was my show.
Yeah.
Like who cares about these comics? Like this is about me. And then they told me, I remember like Wanda Sykes and her producing partner were like, don't worry. We cut out anything that made you look like an asshole.
Oh.
And I was like, I did the show
That's everything.
to be an asshole.
Yes.
So I remember hating it and sitting backstage waiting for the comics to finish. And there's 100 comics. And they're all doing the same, like, the gluten-free cookie bit.
Yeah.
Like, gluten must be the best part of the cookie. I want a cookie made out of gluten. And I'm just like, this is awful.
Yeah.
Norm is like, I remember Norm saying to someone, what the fuck is going on? To a girl on stage whose dad introduced her. Like they had the dad introduce her. And she finishes and she's like, and she had a good set. And Norm goes, what the fuck is going on? Because I was told I'd be here to see the funniest people in the 100 funniest people in the country. I don't think you're one of the 100 funniest people in the room. And it's like a room full of like cast audience members that I was like, oh my God, I thought this was going to be like an amazing show because of the tension between me and Norm, because of the fights, like have to like go and calm down. We would get into fights.
Yeah.
But then we'd come and meet afterwards and be like, this is going to be good TV. And then they cut all of it.
And by the end, you and Norm were buddies.
We were
right?
cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
We
Because I saw that in the special you talked about.
Yeah.
It.
Yeah. We just figured out how to work together. But Norm was out of pocket as a judge with the shit he would say. And I felt like I had to defend some of the comics.
Yeah.
And you really didn't know what he was going to be into from like, sometimes he'd be like, I didn't like that. I want darker. And then someone would come up with the darkest shit. And I'd be like, Norm, you must have loved that. And he'd be like, why do you think I would love that?
Oh, weird.
And I was like, oh, okay. And then there's tension there. But I'm like, tension makes good TV.
Sure.
Especially reality TV. And in Last Comic Standing, they wanted none of it. Where if someone bombed and the 3 judges and I are like crying, laughing at like how bad they did, we're like, this is going to be the best part of the episode. Cut.
What is that?
Because they didn't want to embarrass any comics
at
this point in the series. There's a reason that you can stream every season of Last Comic Standing except for mine. Like it was just bad and banal that it was.
But that's the problem with TV is like I feel like if you had that as an internet show, you'd leave all that in, and it would be way more entertaining.
Of course,
that sucks.
I wish. I mean, if someone told me we have all the fights between you and Norm on tape, I would be like, this is going to just like shoot it into space, so that aliens know what greatness is. Like it was just it was hard to be dealing with an idol and have it just not be going well, but like neither one of us was going to back down. And I thought like this is amazing television.
Yeah.
And they took all of it. that I was pretty upset.
Did you kind of want Norm? Because if I had tension with Norm, I'd crumble because I want him to like me.
Of course. I mean, I really wanted him to like me. He gave me no choice. And I felt like, I remember saying to someone, I was like, just because I'm Ringo doesn't mean I'm not one of the fucking Beatles. Because they were like, the judges are getting paid more than you. And it was the one gig where I took where I'm like, I'm taking less money so I can do whatever I want. Not realizing that when you take less money, you can't do anything you want. They don't give a shit about you.
Right.
When you're getting a lot of money, then you can you have power. But I was just like, they were just cutting anything. They were like, you do whatever you want. We're cutting it.
Yeah.
So it was, and I realized that almost immediately. It was tough.
You had a great line with Joe List when he was on it. I think he got like second or third. He went pretty far. But Norm loved Joe. And Norm was like, Joe, you are a great writer. And you went, wow, Joe, Norm just called you ugly.
That was maybe the one joke that they left in of all. Like, I was always trying to riff and find a moment to make it more than just like these like terrible comics bombing. Like, Joe was great on that show.
Yeah.
The final 10 I was happy with. There were people like Miss Pat.
Sure.
Like, who didn't make it but I was like, Miss Pat is like going to win this thing.
Yeah.
And then it was just a weird show where they had one segment where they had Wanda reconstruct people's acts and be like, do it like this, do it like that. And then they would come out and not do that well. And the judges would be like, we didn't like this. And they'd be like, Wanda told me to do that. And they would cut that.
Of course.
And Wanda's furious that it was just like a weird.
I hate that.
I mean, it's
shit.
it was a bad show. I'm glad it's canceled.
Same.
Reality TV it's just, I feel like you don't watch a lot, do you?
No.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough.
No,
It's
I don't watch a lot of TV.
Yeah.
But when I find something I like, have you guys ever seen the show Mr. In Between?
No, what's that?
It is someone recommended it to me like a week ago. And it was on like 2018 to like 2020. It's an Australian TV show. It was on FX. And it's about an Australian hitman. So he's like going around killing people. He's a total badass, but he's got a daughter.
Yes.
And everyone's chill.
I've seen clips of this.
He's like, gotta kill you, mate. And then like, that's the way it cracks. Like,
yeah.
So it's like, you can watch it and it just like kind of washes over you.
Yes.
But I watch, it's like,
He's got a daughter or something in the show? Yeah.
It's got like 22 episodes, half hour. And I watched it in like 3 days. And it's like my favorite. I wrote the guy and was like, your show is fucking amazing. They ended it perfectly. Like, it's an awesome show.
Yeah.
That I loved it. Funny,
good monologues.
Yeah.
They'll have like good, he'll have a whole rant about something. And
it's like big
poignant.
on social media now. You'll see a lot of clips.
That's what
Mr. In Between is the jam.
Wow, how the hell did you come across that?
I have a book club now, and I end up by saying like TV's bad, movies are bad, like read your books. Because I truly believe that TV and movies have gotten really bad in the past couple years. Corporations, studios forming together, like there are fewer movies, they're all trying to be Marvel now, which is fine, but like they're all the same. And TV is now, like the streaming, it's like you get 10 episodes every 3 years. And someone was like, watch Mr. In Between. I just looked it up, and if you tell me show's about a hitman and it's good, I'm excited about it. So, yeah.
Back to just the last comic thing. Don't you get annoyed with these shows where they tell you they hire you to be you? It's kind of like the morning TV when they bring you on morning TV and you act like yourself and they get mad. Doesn't that drive you crazy? That's what we do.
Yeah, but when it's a network, they never want. They're full of shit. You know, it's like what he's saying about movies right now, where it's a big studio. They don't want something unique. They don't want a chance. They want what they're like. This will hit.
Yeah, but that's why you like Norm, is because he's Norm.
I know, but that's why we do comedy clubs.
They want to not get fired. The executives on these TV shows just want to not get in trouble and not get yelled at. They have to have you on for whatever reason. Like the club has a deal with them. But I don't do morning shows. And I mean, I went through this phase where I had to.
Sure.
And it usually went terribly.
Yeah.
But I've done I'm doing some show in Australia that's online that like went pretty well. But they were like, don't swear. Like, don't do any of your jokes. Don't tell us what the jokes are about. And I ended up just like roasting them.
Yeah.
But it's like it's just,
you're not giving me a lot of
fear
options
there.
as a comedian here.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. But yeah, I try to avoid all of that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you watch a lot of old movies? You seem like you would watch old ones.
I just watched, someone recommended Point Blank to me.
I literally was talking about that movie last night. I love the book series too, the Richard Stark series.
I read so many of the Stark books, and it
Donald
just made me want to
Westlake.
be reading the book. instead of watching the movie. And they've made like 8 different versions of Point Blank. Like the Mel Gibson Payback. Yeah.
Oh,
Point Blank's the best one, though, I think.
It was great. It was great, but I just was like, I'd rather be reading the book right now.
The book series is awesome. It's the Parker series. So that's a good rec, too, if you haven't seen that.
So great.
But yeah, that's like kind of like a forgotten cool.
I found a first edition copy of, I forget, I don't know if it's called Playland. It's a Westlake Parker book, but it takes place in an amusement park where like mobsters chase him into an amusement park. And it's basically Die Hard, like 30 years before Die Hard came out, where he's in an amusement park, like killing all these guys with the rides and shit. It's awesome. It's awesome.
Those books are funny too. That's the thing too, is like they're just blunt and funny and yeah, awesome series.
Yeah.
I don't know. What, Point Blank is a movie?
Yeah, Leave Marvin.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's shot really cool too. It has like a weird vibe of that. I think it's like the late 60s or something. I don't know when it was.
Late 60s.
Yeah.
Like the Dean from Animal House is one of the villains.
Oh,
like
yeah.
It's just like.
Dean Wormer.
It's great.
All right. I'll check that out.
Yeah.
Dean Martin.
Huh?
Oh, Animal House. No, Dean Wormer. I was thinking of Ned Beatty. Never mind. Yeah.
Ned Beatty, Deliverance.
Yeah. Tough role.
Tough role, especially to get recognized
Good
for.
for him.
Yeah.
Someone had to do that role. That's a tough one to be recognized
I always
for.
feel bad for him. You heard the story that like the director was like, did you ever get bullied when you were a kid? And he was like, yeah, they would tell me to squeal like a pig. They call me fat. And then he had the actors say that to him without telling him anything, where he's like having like a fucking like breakdown on like, they got the performance, but it was.
That's a great actor.
Yeah.
To let that in.
Yeah.
He's a hitman in another movie. He's a hitman in, I think, Mikey and Nikki. Another
Beatty?
good, yeah,
Wow.
good flick too.
Not very
think I've
intimidating
seen that.
guy.
That's a 70s flick. That's a cool one. I got a movie rec.
Please.
Anatomy of a Murder, Jimmy Stewart, entire score by Duke Ellington. Really cool.
What?
It's like if you like the courtroom drama type, great dialogue. Like
Is that a Hitchcock movie?
no, it's Otto Preminger.
Okay.
But it's awesome, dude. It's an awesome.
I've never heard of that.
Yeah, very cool. Yeah, that's an old.
That's a
flick.
fun one.
That's
yeah.
a cool one.
I
Peter
haven't seen
Falk and
that.
Cassavetes. Elaine May directed it. Very cool.
Whoa.
Slow as fuck. First 25 minutes you got to get through, but then it's awesome.
Okay.
But
All right.
so you've toured with rock. I think we were talking once when I was out here. You were saying that you don't go out till you have 45 minutes on the road.
On my last tour, because it was like my 20-year anniversary, my agent was just like, just go, pick 6 clubs and go. And I had 30 minutes. So I had to fill 15 pretty quickly. At first it was like, let me do like jokes, my favorite jokes, my old specials. Hated that. Like it just felt like, it felt hard to do. And I was like taking questions. And a lot of my last hour came from that. But people would be like, talk about Norm. So I've got a Norm story. Talk about the roast. I had my like Tyson story of like jokes that would get cut. And now I'm taking questions and it's all bullshit. Like none of it's going to make it into my act. That I don't know what. Maybe I just used up all the things people were interested in.
Yeah.
But now I went out with 45 minutes to clubs. And now building it. I'm doing clubs until I just went out a few months ago and I'm until September and then going into theaters. But I've got like 50, 55 and hopefully I'll have the hour by then.
Well, you kind of have a level, like a standard that you can't go under it. People expect a certain amount of quality from you, joke-wise and all that. So if you dip, that's a bad look.
Yeah, and I think people if I pull out the paper and I'm trying out new jokes, people are thrilled. Whether they're bad or good, they enjoy me making the check mark or being like, oh, geez, and laughing at how bad it is. I could never do and I don't judge comics for doing this when they're like, it's a workout weekend.
Yeah, I can't do that either.
Like I'm going to a club just to work stuff out, come and check it out. Like I just feel like I've set my bar.
Yes.
Like, the comics I respect the most now are the ones who just have a high bar.
Right.
Because it's like you see a lot of people, I won't name any names, but you can tell almost who got a too special deal from Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
Because they'll say you got a too special deal, you're ready with this one.
The first one's pretty good.
We need the new one in 6 months.
Yes.
And you can tell which one is that 6-month one that I'm just like, I could never do that. That I've always done like one special when I'm ready, we'll do it. And I'm happy to take longer. But I want to be able to just tour it everywhere. And I tape a special because I've run out of places to go with it.
Yeah.
It's not like I'm just like, all right, time to put out a special. It's like I enjoy the live performance so much, and I want to go everywhere.
Totally.
I want to
Same.
go to like some fucking casino in Mississippi where everyone's on oxygen tanks and see how it goes there. Because once it's done, once the special's out, it's over, and I have to almost mourn the material before I get into the new one. And I always say I might be retiring.
Yes.
Because I have to feel that way in order to put everything into it. And then when I'm done, I'm like, well, if I get one more joke, then I kind of have to tell that joke, and then I need to build an hour around it.
Yeah.
But I never know what it's going to look like. It's very daunting. That this truly might be it. Where like now I have the book club. I'm getting into that book world. I'm being asked to write forewords for books that I really like, or like interview authors. And so I think my next chapter might be more on the writing side of things. But travel has become like the bane of my existence.
It's a nightmare.
Like airports have gotten worse and worse. Like my new thing is I don't take connecting flights anymore. I just fly as close as I can get and then get driven to wherever I have to go, because I just hate the airport experience. That I could see this being the last hour, and I'm going to milk it. Like every other weekend, if I tape a special years from now, that's okay. There might not even be a special market in like 3 years. You know, if people decide we're not doing this anymore.
Every year.
They definitely feel less special, but Amazon and Hulu got in the mix, so it became a competition again. But when they're like, we'll license it, like you're not licensing shit. Like not from me. Like you either buy it or I'm not doing that. I don't want to put anything on YouTube at this point that I might not do a special. Like Tosh hasn't done a special in 15 years.
I miss Tosh.
But you also came up before us. We needed YouTube. No one would buy our shit. So our first specials that popped us were YouTube. It was, but
that was before it got saturated too.
Yeah.
And YouTube is the future. Like I don't judge. I understand why, but like for me, it's like I've gotten paid double for every special I've done.
Whoa.
You know, and if that continues, you'll get another one. But if they're like, we'll give you the same.
Wow.
I'll keep it. I'll keep the hour. Like Tosh has the hour and just tours when he wants to.
I'd love to see that.
And then once you have enough specials out, like you don't really need more. You know, if someone's like, you have a Netflix special, it's like, I've got 3. So like, what does a 4th do for you compared to just having an hour?
Yeah.
Where you make so much more with that. That I like the idea of just having an hour and never retiring.
Yeah.
But just taking my time and doing what I want to do.
Like a Leno. Just have your hour.
Yeah.
And never post it anywhere. But don't you feel like, to me, it's about the boulder, pushing it up, you know? It's just that's something to do. Work on the new hour. Then when you put one out, you work on the next one.
Of course. But the boulder is getting heavier.
Yes.
And I'm running out of things to talk about. You know, that eventually, like I'm very happy with and proud of my new hour, but I'm surprised. Because I was like, maybe I'm done after the last one, but I'm like, you find the way, and that is fun. But I'm like,
but don't you say that every hour?
Every time,
Same.
but I'm getting older.
It's a young man's game. The traveling, the jokes are so short. It's hard.
Well, you have this postpartum funk after you get rid of the material, and you're just like depressed, and you're like, what the fuck am I? Because you feel like you are the act. Like that, I identify as like this. I feel it's tough because towards the end you're like, I'm killing, but I also feel like, who gives a shit? I know these work. Because I'm about to tape, so they better work.
Kind of, but like I'll tape the special, and right when I'm like right about to be burned out, and then I kind of get a second wind and go to Europe and do other things. Where like, and I'm like, I want to kill myself if I have to do this again.
Yeah.
And then the last show, I'm on stage being like, I wish there were 6 more months of this tour. Like it's a mental thing where I thought about like going to a hypnotist to be like, make yourself think every show's the last show. You know, and then you have that energy because like if you're doing 2 shows in a night, the first show you're thinking about that late show, and the late show's like almost easier. And they're both good shows. You wouldn't be able to tell the difference because I'm professional, but it's so much of it is mental.
Yeah,
but I just think like when I'm in my 50s, which I will be when I'm writing the next hour, like what is that?
I know
that the idea of having something else to do would be nice. So who knows what happens and what the industry looks like.
Yeah, I heard Jim Jeffries say, I think he's done 8 YouTube specials, and he's like, do I need a 9th? Does that make a difference? What are we doing here?
He turned me once in the bar and he goes, I've done 9 specials, and each one is worse than the next.
Oh, that's scary too.
Oh, no, it's in the last, rather.
Yeah.
But you know, I mean, yeah, you're right. You get burnt out. You run out of ideas, especially your style, which is like, you're hiding the ball. You're tricking the audience, you know? But your style is like weirdly palatable. Like I can show clips of you to my mom and she'll laugh because of the writing, you know? So in a weird way, your style doesn't seem that, like I hear you get called as a dark comedian, but you don't seem like a dark comedian to me. It just seems like it's, you know, it's a turn. It's a right turn.
I have dark subjects, but it's not always a dark joke.
Right.
You know, it's like making light of something, and that's one of the things that appeals to me to doing another one after this. Is that like when your back is truly against the wall, then what do you come up with? And I am getting better. You know, just because of like doing it for 25 years, that like, what does that look like? Which always makes me think like, what if I did it again? People are like, what if you just did stories? Or it's more like your podcast where you're just kind of talking, and that's fine. But I feel like my audience wants to see the hard work. Like they're like, wow, this guy really like carved this sculpture out of like ivory, and we get to like appreciate it for 45 minutes to an hour.
Yeah.
That who knows? But I have to treat each hour like it's my last, just for my own mental well-being.
Yeah.
But I'm sure when I'm done, I'll want to get back on stage and do it again.
Yeah,
but,
that's going
we'll
to kick in, I think, later. A couple years go by where you're doing the book club and you're going to be itching. I got to get back out there. I got to do another hour.
But it's good to miss it.
Yeah, of course.
We talk about that all the time. Like, the burnout is real. Like I do feel burnt out from the road. This is the first time I've taken like real time off the road, and I feel pretty good.
Yeah,
I'm every other weekend now, because the worst part for me was landing at LAX on a Sunday, knowing I had to come back on Wednesday.
Well, the road out of LA is so much worse.
That was what was like murder to me. That like now I come back on Sunday, I have the next weekend off, and I come back the next Wednesday, and I'm like, okay, this is much easier than it used to be. But I'm happy to take the time. Before I felt like I would get rusty if I wasn't out every weekend.
Same.
And now I'm like, you know what? I'm almost better.
Really?
I'm like, people are like, I've never seen you have so much fun on stage. Like you're laughing on stage. And I used to, I'm stone faced. And then it's like, because it's still fresh to me that I can enjoy it more instead of just like being a machine.
Yeah. It's kind of like seeing a girl every other weekend. You're like, this is still fun. But if I see you every weekend, it's brutal.
Aren't you married?
Yes. But that's why I do the road quite a bit.
It is good to miss things.
It is.
You need to miss things to still love them.
Colin Quinn was like, you don't like forget how to do stand up. And people think you have to get up every night. Like, no, you don't.
You
like,
feel a little rust though. Don't you have that little like, oh wait, I'm a little slower here.
A little rusty, and that like I have to kind of like my memory. I'm using more of my memory to be like, where am I? But in a way that makes the show better, I think. You know, if I have to look at my set list for a second, okay, I'm glancing down when I take a sip of water, but it's still like it's more fresh in my head. Like a lot of actors will say like they like memorize the script and then forget about it for a week. So when they come in, they're fresh.
Right.
And I think there is something to that in stand-up that you can only get once you've been doing it for like over 20 years, and you kind of just have a little more confidence in it will come to you.
Yeah.
You know?
I have a theory that comics have the least dementia. Because we're constantly using our brain. We're trying to remember stuff. We're writing jokes. Then you meet a million people. Then you have to get on a flight. You have to look at everything. I think that keeps us sharp. You know,
is that true?
That's my theory. Well, you know, these old guys.
It's certainly a theory. I forget. I've met so many people where they're like, hey, how's it going? I'm like, hey, what's up? How's it going? And then they walk away and someone's like, you hate him. Like, why were you so nice? I'm like, I have no idea who I was talking to. Like, I have no idea
But
who
it's someone
that
you
was.
hated?
Yeah, or like we had a bad experience, like a club owner that I got into it with,
right.
you know, and then you like see them at Montreal and they're like, "How's it going?" You're like, "Great, how are you? Great, how are the kids?" And like, yeah, you despise that person.
Yeah, well, I mean, like, I just think, you know, my dad will do these little puzzles because he's like, I'm trying to keep my brain fresh. But I think we're doing puzzles every night on stage and set lists and all that. That's a theory. Maybe Harlan Williams is dementia, but you know, I think we're just staying fresh all the time. We don't need the puzzles. It's a theory.
I can see what you're saying. You got to memorize your act, and then you have to be able to be quick in the moment. Whereas like actors are trained to like memorize everything and then forget it forever.
Exactly.
Lawyers are trained to memorize everything and memorize it forever.
Yes.
Where they got like know the rules of the law. That like everyone's brain works a little differently.
Yeah.
But I can see the comic brain being better.
And then we can go look at Don Rickles goes forever. Joan Rivers goes forever. You know?
I got bad news about both of them.
Ah, shit.
We were deprived some good Joan years at the end. I feel like she should have had a few more years.
I think she's underrated.
Definitely. I got to meet her. I got to work with her. I got to have her on my show, which was great. Like Joan Rivers was huge for me.
Yeah.
I still have like a framed like note card she sent me.
Whoa.
With like just thanks. She had a show called In Bed with Joan. And sent me a card to be like, thank you. And when she died, like she was like scared of me. It was when I had the Jeselnik offensive, and she thought I was going to come on and roast her. But I was like, no, I think you're the most pure comedian there is. Like,
yeah.
You never apologized. And I think the episodes got taken down. They might be up back again.
Oh, I remember this.
But when she died, I was upset and I went back and watched it. And
Wow.
I had seen it the first time and then turned it off. But at the end, I just let it keep running. And at the end, it's her sitting at her kitchen table, kind of deconstructing the interview and being like, you know, I thought he was going to be mean, but he was actually so sweet. And I think he's just so funny. And like her talking about me felt like that was the goodbye. Like it was just this like amazing moment to be able to watch after she had passed. But I thought the world of Joan Rivers.
Same.
And
Do you
it
think
felt
also
good to
though-
be able to help her like be with the kids again.
Right.
You know, she was thrilled to be on Comedy Central. And I'm glad she got to be back on the Tonight Show. You know, before she
That was
she
so
passed.
stupid, dude.
So dumb.
You can't do that.
So dumb.
What do you mean? What?
Carson Bander.
Oh, that. Yeah.
I mean,
you
Carson-
got to take work as a comedian.
But I get why Carson banned her.
Yeah.
Because she didn't ask permission to be on the show. I don't know why Leno didn't have her back. Leno was like, if Carson banned her, it's almost like when Pete Rose got banned and then
Which
the
is
guy
also
died like a
stupid.
week later. And so the next guy couldn't reverse it
Yeah.
because Roselle was so beloved that it's like, why can't reverse this? This guy just died.
Right.
Whereas if he had lived maybe in like a year or two, they let him back in.
Mhm.
But, and I also think that's stupid. But
Yeah.
I get it. But I was glad that Fallon, like the first thing he did was bring Joan Rivers back.
Yeah.
And she was thrilled to do it.
And talk about not giving a fuck. There's a montage of her on YouTube, just if you ever get bored, of her doing the red carpet roast. And it is, she says shit where you're like, Jesus Christ. That was on NBC or whatever.
One of my and I love Joan to pieces, but one of my favorite things was when she died. Twitter was like an outpouring of comedians being like, "We love her," and then someone was like, "Anthony, you've got to see this." And it was all of her writers from Fashion Police or whatever, where she would like they wanted to unionize, and she fought them on every step of the way of like, we're too expensive if we unionize. We're paying you what we're paying you. You're lucky to have this job. And they were celebrating her death like it was Osama bin Laden.
Really?
And it was like to watch all this outpouring of like heartfelt tributes, and then to see people being like, "I'm glad she's dead," was even to me was funny. I'm sure she would have appreciated it
Yeah.
if she had seen it.
Damn.
It is interesting because you're a dick on stage. So I think the bar is lower for you off stage.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're like even kind of nice, you're like, oh, that guy's really nice.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I hear that all the time about you.
Yeah.
He's actually a nice guy.
Yeah, people. I think it's easier for me to be nice because people come up afraid already.
Yeah.
So it's easy to kind of like, okay, let me downplay this. Where it's the guys who seem nice on stage
Cosby.
who have to be dicks.
Not that nice off stage.
But I think of like Louis Anderson. Like if you saw Louis, you're like, Louis, you want to come up and like
Was he a
touch his
dick?
belly? I think he would have to be to keep your boundaries.
I
You know
went for
that
him once. He was
I bet Brian Regan
nice.
like it drives him crazy.
Yeah.
I've heard Seinfeld will like just ignore people completely because they want to come up and like, I loved your show, and he's like, I know you did. Everybody
Yeah.
fucking did. You know that like because of that he has to be.
we all know
he
how
has to be
psycho
tough.
Nate can be. Remember hanging out with Nate in the early years? You're like, you're terrifying. And now he's the squeakiest clean guy. Great guy, but he'll bite your head off.
I don't hang with Christians.
Nice guy is kind of a trap in the rest of your life.
Well, Regan's a booze bag. I mean, yeah, you gotta compensate.
If people know you as nice, they just want to like the people who
You can't have a bad day.
Yeah, like Sarah Silverman used to say that her fans were crazy because they all thought they were the only one. Because she would get so much shit that people would be like obsessive that she had to protect herself.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think people just think I'm like a psychopath. So if you're just like, oh, you're normal. I'm not like that nice. I'm just not like going to kill you.
Yeah, evil.
I don't carry knives.
Do you ever find that a crowd just doesn't get you? Because you have a thing.
Mhm.
And sometimes they're just like, what's up with this guy? He's just mean and dark.
Yeah, I mean, it happens a lot if I'm on like an improv or like a showcase show with a bunch of people.
Yeah.
But I remember my brother came to see me once, and I was like, oh, I just bombed. And he was like, you didn't bomb. He was like, half the audience was laughing, and the other half had their jaw on the table. Like, oh my God, like, what's he doing? Where they're not like upset, they're just shocked
Yeah.
that I'm not like other people. Most people think of comedy as like
Likeable.
airline food, and
Yes.
they want hack. You know, they come for hack.
Exactly.
And they expect it. So when you're like the opposite, they're just kind of in shock, but you're not having a bad set. They're just experiencing it in a different way. Maybe they're not laughing, but they're not like, they're enjoying themselves.
Yeah, but you're still established now. People know who you are. But in the early days, that must have been hard that you must have wanted to pivot so badly. Just like, maybe I'll switch. They're not getting it.
I knew if I pivoted, I would fail.
Wow.
I knew that there was no, and I have friends who have said like they changed their act on the road and they come back to LA and their act doesn't work anymore.
That's crazy.
And I was like, I'd rather bomb until people figure it out. And I thought there was a joy in people watching me, and no one's laughing, but it makes them laugh more because the table, like I get a lot of letters of like, I loved you more because the audience next to me hated you.
Right.
And so that made me like you more. And so I just like, let's lean into that.
Yeah.
And I mean, I like the energy, but if like the audience is kind of like, fuck you, like that's fun too. Like it's still entertaining, and I believe in my jokes.
Yeah, I just think it's commendable in those early years when you're scrounging.
Yeah.
But you stayed in the pocket.
I had that period of about 8 months from when I quit Fallon and started headlining.
Yeah.
Where I had an album out. So I had some fans who knew what I was all about, but people who like got flyered into the room, and I'm like eating shit. And then the Trump roast happened, and the next day it was sold out with everyone knowing it's dark jokes.
Yeah.
And then things were different. But if I'm at a show with like Nikki Glaser and Chelsea Handler, they're there to see Nikki Glaser and Chelsea Handler. And I am a shock. And it's fun because it reminds me of when I started out.
Right.
And when I was just a big surprise.
Yeah, I think
that was interesting.
There's got to be moments of self-doubt, though, in those 8 months where you're just like, what the fuck? Like those bombs to the hotel when you're in the room and you're like, fuck. Like those are long nights till the next set.
It was a long night. I mean, opening for people as a feature act was worse.
Sure.
It was worse. Like,
who were you paired with sometimes?
I was pretty lucky, and then I got to go with established people. But if I opened for Doug Benson, I bombed so hard that people would leave before Doug.
This guy's not talking about movies. What
they
the
would
fuck?
be so mad at what I was doing. But if I opened for Brian Posehn, they loved me. Like they loved me. Or Sarah Silverman, they loved me. And I was lucky enough to get to go with Benson and Posehn mostly. But Benson, I would eat shit.
But he liked you.
So, he liked me. He liked me just because I was like fun after the show, and like I would get wasted and have a good time.
By the way, comics don't know enough about that. A lot of it, just be fucking pleasant.
Be a good hang.
I remember Doug saying you didn't when you got wasted, and I would be like blackout. He was like, you didn't try to wrestle me or hug me. But I think it's the guys who like get like maudlin or start crying or like want hug or like this is the best time of my life. He's like, you just didn't touch me. Then it's like, yeah, don't be the guy who wrestles when he gets drunk. Don't be the guy who sings the Humpty Dance.
Yeah.
In the back of the car.
Right.
And you can get as fucked up as you want.
Damn. Shouldn't have touched Doug. I fucked up. Where is Doug? I haven't seen that guy in 10 years.
He around.
Okay.
He grew his hair out. He's doing his thing.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
I used to do Doug Loves Movies once a month. Remember that show? It was huge.
He still does it, but he just doesn't ask the same people, I guess. He's doing it as part of the festival, I think. It's around.
All right, great.
What's your favorite part of Europe to hit when you're traveling? For crowds and just to chill.
I mean, it always changes. I loved Amsterdam. I used to think I would like move there. And then the last tour, I was there for like a week and I was like over it by the end.
Yeah.
The narrow streets are tough. The bikes, it's hard. It's a walking city, and then it's hard to walk.
You just walk through all of it, and you're like, all right, I'm good.
Yeah.
But I really I love Dublin. I think of it like more as what the audience is like, and the audiences were always fun. But I would wake up in some countries where I was like, where the fuck am I? Like, I don't know where I am. I'm in like Cyprus or some shit where I didn't know. I liked all of Europe. I really liked Berlin. I love that audience. Cool. I loved Scotland was really fun. Edinburgh is like one of those beautiful places I've ever been. Doing that festival was great.
You did that?
Yeah.
Did you do the full month?
You there?
No, I did like 2 nights.
Oh, there you go. That's
I used to want to do the full month because I remember Morgan Murphy went one year a long time ago.
Yeah.
And so she did the full month and ate shit every night for like 4 people and hated it. But when she came back, she was bulletproof.
Whoa.
Like nothing could throw her. And I was like, I want that. I want to feel like that. And my agent would never let me go because he was like, you're not going to make any money. And now when I was going through on tour and I got to just do it for like 2 nights and it was great. But just walking around that city, it's fucking just Harry Potter.
Yeah.
It's like Harry Potter in real life that I enjoyed that.
I just watched that Hannibal. Did you ever see the Hannibal doc about Edinburgh?
No.
It's pretty great. And he hates it like 23 days in and then he just snaps and then he turns it around. And he loves it. But
there was something about those gigs early on where you're like, you dread those Tuesday through Saturday gigs, but then you come back doing like an hour a night, 2 hours a night, and you're like, holy shit, I added. So there is that value of just running shit into the ground, whether the crowd's good or not. You figure shit out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's comedy is like you're miserable, you hate it, you get on stage, you have a great time on stage. And so you're like you're having the worst time of your life for like 2 months.
Yeah.
But you're getting better. And the shows are like everything. Where if you had like a week off, like I went and did Asia. I did like Hong Kong, Taipei, and Tokyo. Brutal. Because I had like a week off in between. I'm just sitting in a hotel room in like Taipei during monsoon season, paying for 3 hotel rooms for like my opener and my
I think I messaged you about this, asking you about this, and you were like, "This is a lot."
It's a lot, and because I just in Australia and then New Zealand, and it was like I was ready to go home. So you're gonna sit in this hotel room, and it's raining too hard to even do anything outside. And then the show was like they don't understand English humor, so they would come to kind of see a show, and it was interesting. But then that's it. And it's like 200 people after you've been doing like 1,000-seat theaters everywhere.
And your word choice is so specific. It's not like a big cartoonish act that might translate.
It was all expats or like people just not understanding. But you're in this weird venue where I was like, never again. Like I would go there and visit in a heartbeat, beautiful places.
Yeah.
But doing a show there was like, why? Why did I do this?
And the week off is too much.
It's way too much. It's way too much. And you don't think about it when the agent sends you the schedule. You're just like, yeah, I want to do all these. And then you get on the plane and you're like, wait, what?
Yeah.
I'm here for how long? That I need to pay more attention to what I'm doing.
Yeah, I had that with Australia. I've done Australia a couple times, but the last one I did 3 weeks instead of 2. And I was like, I wish I was home. At that third week, it was too much.
I thought about going to Australia and like staying for a week before the shows begin because you have like a day or 2 and then you start.
Yeah.
And that first show, you feel like you're on NyQuil.
You're wonky.
Like you're just like, I don't know where I am. I started in Perth last time, and I was like, why am I in Perth? It's on the other side of the like you land in Australia, you have another like 4-hour flight.
Yeah.
I was like, I just want to give me Melbourne and Sydney. But I got to do the Sydney Opera House, and it was like insane. Whoa. It felt like I've done Sydney Opera House and Carnegie Hall, and they were both like, oh my God.
Yeah.
You really feel every moment of like, this is a career high. You know, I don't know if it gets better than that. People talk about arenas, but I'm like, give me a perfectly built theater.
Agreed.
Where the acoustics are incredible, and that is the best you can get.
Wow. Opera House. That's really when you made it.
It felt, I remember being like, which room in the Opera House? And they were like, the Opera House.
Wow.
Like, it is, I remember like just killing, having a great time killing. And then right at the end, my last joke, a woman just got up to use the restroom. And the acoustics are so insane that I could hear every footstep. And I'm still killing, but it's just like, wow, like this place is really built for like the greatest symphony of all time, but it's just you telling fucking dick jokes. And it just felt incredible.
Yeah,
I can't wait to go do that.
Carnegie Hall, they say, was built before speakers. So the sound is supposed to be, I opened for Jimmy Carr there, and that was a hot show because his crowd just wants jokes. But the problem was Louis was in the front row. So I'm just looking at Louis while doing jokes. And then he wants to be supportive, so you do a joke and he'd be like, you're like, this is brutal. You're killing me. Sit in the third row or do a set.
First row's rough.
Yeah.
Oh, when they sit your family up, like, what are you doing?
I know.
Telling a blowjob story, I see my mom's face like, ugh. I'm like, this is rough.
She's heard it a million times. Yeah.
Where are you at on Jimmy Carr? I think he's top notch.
Oh, he's great. I mean, he's been almost like a mentor to me where like I always feel like I try to be prolific, and I think about how like my idols, I've like Stephen Wright was my idol. He put out 2 specials, you know, I put out like 5 or 6, you know, but Jimmy Carr is so far ahead of me. Like
so
has
prolific.
Put out so much that he's a guy that I will really sit and try to learn from, that I absolutely love. Love Jimmy Carr. I thought it was fun. The last time I heard from Jimmy, he had done that special where he was like, I'm going to get canceled. Like, this special will get me canceled.
Yeah.
And then he got in trouble for the joke about the Roma, about the
Gypsy.
The Gypsy, yeah. And he was like, would you put out a tweet or speak out about this? And I was like, motherfucker, the special is about getting canceled.
Yeah.
What's your problem? And
he wanted you to be like, this isn't offensive? What does he want you to write?
He wanted me to just like defend him as a comic. And I was like, I'll talk about it on my podcast and like how this is like stupid. But he's like, I mean, he's like, you know, escaped through the vent of many a cancellation.
Yeah.
You know, having jokes about like soldiers being amputees, where the soldiers come out and say he's visited the hospitals, like he can say whatever he wants.
Right.
Or he said that he had a joke about the Royals or something. Well, I think he had like a tax evasion thing that he got like a scandal.
Oh, I remember that.
But then
He
like
did a greatest hits tour, right?
the new king like sent him a letter being like, would you write jokes for me? You know, and he's like has that frame that he's like, I mean, he's bulletproof now.
Yeah.
But I love Jimmy Carr.
Yeah, he's got gears too. Like everybody thinks he's a one-liner guy. I saw him at the Cellar a while ago, and he was running a Fallon, and it was killer. But then he did his 5 minutes. And he's like, "All right, let's have some fun," and he just shifts gears and he goes filthy, and the crowd is like, the walls are shaking. Then he could do crowd work. He could riff. I mean, he's got it all.
Yeah.
Big
He's great.
fan.
He's always been supportive. If I go to London, he'll come to the show, and you hear that fucking laugh.
Yes.
You know, like he's great.
Weirdly open about his surgery and the transplants and all that too. He's got a lot of wisdom. Like I'll see him on these smart guy pods, these intellectual pods, and he says shit where you're like, "That's great. That's really smart."
Yeah, I mean, he's concise in every way.
Yeah.
Jokes, thoughts. Yeah, he's good at that.
I went to London once, and it was a terrible week in London. My first time ever there. I'm doing the Soho Theatre, and it was like during Edinburgh, so that none of the comics are in town.
Yeah.
So it's the loneliest week of my life. I'm just like miserable. It's so hot. I'm just doing a 7:00 show, and there's no opener even. It's just me doing it for an hour.
Oof.
And Jimmy has me over to his house. It's me. He has me and Jim Jeffries over.
Mhm.
And he's showing me around. He's showing me everything. And then he comes to the show that night. And I make a joke about, like, the cab driver drops me off at the house. And he's like, "Wow, what do you got to do to get a house like this?" And I go, "Tax evasion." And then I tell that joke at the show, and everyone laughs. Jimmy laughs. And I'm like, and then Jimmy had these TVs. He had his flat screen TVs outside. That he was like, "I got these from children's burn units." Because they have to keep it so moist in there. If they have a TV that was special coating so it can rain on it. And then I'm like, and then he's got these TVs and like people are laughing and Jimmy's laughing a little bit less. And I'm like, oh, I'm telling too much about your life right now.
Right.
I need to stop this. But he's always been fantastic. And a guy I would ask advice of Jimmy Carr. As much as I adore Chris Rock, Jimmy Carr is more like me.
Sure.
That he would be a guy I would go to for advice if I did that kind of thing.
Jimmy's also
Tax evasion?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, you never saw him start really. Like I feel like I just saw him. He was amazing.
Mhm.
You never saw like the early years.
Remember on Comedy Central?
Oh,
What was that
yeah.
called
You
again?
blew up your own shit.
Yeah,
He
what was it?
He
What
was
was it
fatter
called?
then.
Distraction, right? Was that it?
I don't know.
That's a
I think it was
something.
distraction. You had to like put your own stuff on like in a box, and if you got the question wrong, they would destroy your thing instead
Is
of
that
winning
it?
the other thing. Yeah.
I don't remember this.
It was on Comedy. Put Comedy Central.
Oh wow,
Yeah, I remember his late night sets.
killer.
I feel like we were like, maybe we were the last era of comics that were like desperately trying to get on late night.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
'Cause that was the thing. I mean, it's some comics are pumped to do Fallon once or something, but it's not a thing really.
But it was even before the internet made it a thing where it was like just to have the credit.
Yes.
Yeah.
For them to say you've seen him on Kimmel was like a huge uplift.
Totally.
We used to care about, I don't know if did you guys ever care about Premium Blend? Was that a thing for you?
we
I
were
watched
right,
it.
we were right
That
after
was
that.
before
Yeah.
us.
Like it was like you got Premium Blend, then you got a late night, then you got a half hour.
Yep.
And it was before even like half hour seemed like the biggest thing.
Yeah.
But you could
Yeah, you
headline
could
off
get-
that back. Young comics can't headline off that
No.
anymore because now they're going against TikTok people and YouTube people. But you got a Conan set. They're like, all right, I guess you can maybe do an hour, and it was a life changer.
But I
Totally.
remember there were like it was a 5-year period where the only thing that sold tickets was if you said you'd been on Chelsea Handler.
I remember that.
And it was the only, and I had never been on Chelsea Handler.
Yeah.
But that was the only thing that sold tickets.
Uh-huh.
And Netflix changed everything. Like all of a sudden Comedy Central was doing a lot of specials.
Mhm.
And then Netflix just took over.
Yeah. That handler was like Bobby Lee, Moshe, Natasha, Joe Coy.
hmm
Yeah, they were killing it.
But now with podcasting, I mean, podcasting at first, it cut out morning radio.
Thank
You could
God.
go sell tickets without having to do morning radio because of your podcast. And now it's cut out comedy clubs where I feel like people go straight from, not everybody, people go straight from the podcast to a theater
Mhm.
because they have that market where they can sell at a theater. Where a lot of these comedy clubs I'm going to, they're like, thank God you're here.
Really?
Because the big names just are skipping clubs altogether.
Wow.
Or it's the guys who have the same act every year.
Yeah,
who come
yeah.
through, and it's diminishing returns.
That's fine. I need the clubs. I'm back in the clubs now to work out. And
I'm gonna have to start back up soon. I'm not at enough time yet to do it again, but I hopefully soon. You know,
I love the clubs, and then when I go to theaters, I'm like, thank God I'm out of the clubs. But I love that, like, give me brick walls and a low ceiling.
Same.
And it's so much fun.
Yes.
And then you get to a theater, like I did the Theater Tuesday, and I was like, I'm so glad I had that club experience to get. Otherwise, I wouldn't be appreciating. I wouldn't be feeling it the same way.
Yeah.
But it's clubs are nice.
to build up and also right before you tape. There's something about like the repetition right before you tape where you're just like, oh, I feel fit. And when you're just building up, you're like, oh, I can bomb here a little more than I can, and I can't do this in the theater.
Mm-hmm.
I can build up.
Yeah. Theaters are more of a presentation. Here's my act. Or a club, I feel like I'm tinkering.
Like I was talking to Bert Kreischer, and he's like, arenas are the perfect way to get ready for a special. And I was like, please tell me why this
That's
is.
crazy.
And he's like, because everyone's watching you on the screen.
Ah.
So he's like, it's like as if you're taping the special every night where you just know how it's going to play on a screen.
Yeah.
Versus when you're in a club when you just really don't know what it looks like.
Yeah.
You know, I was like, oh, I could see that making sense to you.
Say what you will about Bert. He knows marketing and like those little tricks. Like two of his specials have the most retention, like record. And he knows all these moves, like put the closer first or cut out this, cut out that. Like he gave me shit for he's like, don't talk about the city you're in on a special. Don't have like an intro. Just get right to it. I think he kind of started a lot of that.
Sometimes the intros, like, it depends who you are. I thought the Rory Scovel did one of those intros that was really funny.
They're great.
Yeah, I mean, it depends who you are.
Depends who you are.
I don't like this one size fits all, like, this
Bert,
is what you do.
He's dialed in with that shit.
Yeah, a lot of people are. A lot of people who have hit a certain level of success are like, it's this or nothing. It's like, every fucking comic's different.
I know.
You know?
Seinfeld's like that. These absolutes. You can't gain 4 pounds or you're different. You can't wear leather on stage or whatever. You're like, all right.
Yeah, I don't believe in any of that.
Yeah.
I've talked about the city I'm in. Like, I don't have it. All my specials start with me on stage, like mid, but I talk about the city you're in. Like, why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
If you have a good joke.
Exactly.
If you're just like, New York City, and then like, yeah, like, who cares? But you have to have something to say about it.
Yeah. Agreed.
Well, where are you going to be coming up on tour, Anthony?
Fuck knows. Let's see. Let's click on the link. Brea, Spokane. I love all the clubs around LA.
Yeah, me too.
And I'm just doing like clubs I really like. Fort Wayne is awesome. Talk about brick walls, low ceiling. Oklahoma City, I love. I just had to move that.
It's a good one.
That'll be there.
That's a good
and I'm
one.
doing that Eugene, Oregon, Olson Run Comedy Club.
Kevin Nealon
But I
just brought this
hear
up.
great things about it.
Really? Yeah, I never heard of it.
And they were like, and you set your own ticket price.
What?
You say what you want. And then like Ali Wong came and did like $80 tickets for like 2 weeks, just 2 shows a night and killed it. And I was like, okay.
Wow.
And they're like, what do you think, Anthony? $45 for your tickets? And I was like, I think so. And then I look at the website and everyone's less than 45. People are like 25, 35, whatever. And then there's someone named Ashley Gavin
Oh, I know.
who had $50 tickets, and I was like, 55. Like, I don't know who this is, but I got to be more than her. But yeah, that's sold out. And then I'm doing that some fucking thing in Canada, part of that, a Great Outdoors Fest.
Oh, those are
that's
fun.
Which is, it's always fun, but they're always like, it's going to be you, Sarah Silverman, Chris Rock, and Bill Burr. And I'm like, awesome. And then they announce it, and it's like, Jeselnik, Pete Davidson, like Jordan Jensen. And I'm like, where the fuck, what happened to the other people that I
They
agreed?
bailed.
Yeah. But
funny.
no, that'll be fun. And then I'm going to announce the theater tour in June.
Nice.
And do every other weekend theaters. And I want to do a thing where I go to the city and I can enjoy the city.
Mhm.
You know, like I'll go to Minneapolis and see how many shows I can do in that theater and just hang out. Instead of like, you get there, you go to the hotel, you shower, you go to the show. Next morning, like you're flying, and I want to try to just chill it out.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
enjoy
The
myself.
airports ruin it, man. I hopefully will do a tour bus for as long as I can physically, but I just like waking up and getting a day in the city.
It kills your profit margin. Would you ever do the private?
I've done the only time I take a private is if it's like I've got to fly to a city that day and I've got to take a connecting flight. You know where it's like it's not that far. It's like just far enough not to drive.
Right.
But it's going to be like 6 hours, and I'm like, I'll pay the $10,000 for a private jet. But that's like my limit.
Yeah.
It's like 1 hour in the air on a private jet just to cut that out.
Mm-hmm.
But I hate that expense. My new thing is just let me go by myself and meet the opener there. I'm tired of having the team. I had the tour manager and the opener and the photographer, and I was like, I feel like I'm like hosting a party.
It's too much.
That I just want to like get off the plane, walk to my car, and then have everybody meet me there.
I agreed.
Yeah.
These entourage people, I don't get it. It's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work.
Because you got to save that for the stage.
Mm-hmm.
All that socializing. Do you watch specials still?
No.
Really?
I watch it occasionally. I'll watch something. Rarely I go to see shows. I went and saw Roy Scovel's new hour right before he taped it. I think he's like the best one working right now.
So funny.
Because a lot of people like you get to a level and then you kind of coasting. You're hanging on to what you have, and it's great. But Rory just like has been stepping up that I really love. I love silly, you know. Like I don't want to see some films like I'm dark. You'd love it. Like no, I wouldn't.
Yeah.
Like that's what I do. But I really love Rory. He's like what like I used to talk up. I can't believe I'm blanking on his name right now. He's the biggest comic in the world. Nate Bargatze. I talked about Nate Bargatze so much.
Dementia.
And now I think it's like, I think he's like now he's at the top where it's like, it's a little bit less silly. You know what I mean? That he's just like the establishment now.
Right.
That Rory, I think, is the new Nate. Nate was like a secret.
Yeah.
You know, that when you saw him, you were just like blown away by it. That I think that's Rory now.
He's claiming to take a break now, Nate. He's talking about stepping back a little bit.
Well, he's building Christian amusement parks. You know,
he's Willy Wonka.
Yeah.
There's a couple guys: Rory, Sean Patton, Sam Talent. Like I feel like almost a screen doesn't show how their magic. You got to see him live.
I like Sam Talent's book. That was a really
Great
good
book.
Best book about stand up that I've ever.
I really
best
really
novel
liked
about
it.
stand up,
Yeah.
and I'm getting an advanced copy of his new one. It's about a hitman. I can't fucking wait.
Yeah, no, he's
Yeah.
awesome guy too.
Yeah, plug the book.
I got Turning Stone Casino in Verona, New York, June 6th. Then I'm doing Europe. That was another fart mark.
Sorry,
That was a
try to
quiet one.
keep that one
Then
low.
I'm doing Lisbon, Athens, Budapest, Zagreb, Vienna, Warsaw, Helsinki, Sweden, and Copenhagen. I'll add some other stuff when I have more material, but special hopefully coming out around then. We'll see. So
Back in the clubs, we're adding shows. I'm doing those 4:00 Saturdays. Those will sneak up on you. Milwaukee, Philly, Irvine, Tempe, Detroit area, Mark Ridley's Hilarities, Emerald City. Have you done that one? Seattle, Emerald City? I've never done it either. I'm nervous. Side Splitters in Tampa, Cobbs in San Fran, and Houston and Nashville. Come on out, get some Bodega Cat. We were drinking it last night. I'm hurting. And check out Anthony on the road.
all right.
And join my book club.
Book club.
That's the important thing. Jeselnik Book Club. Put your email address in, or just go to YouTube and check it out. But it's doing well.
Peters and I just picked up Stoner. We'll let you know. I'm pumped to read it.
Please.
So.
Does Mulaney have a book club as well?
Kind of.
Uh-oh.
Mulaney, and I wish everyone would have a book club. People are like, are you guys competitive? It's like, not at all. But Mulaney is just like, here's 3 books I'm reading, and then that's it.
Yeah.
That I'm like, I talk for an hour about the book. You can email me. I answer questions about the book. I really want to get people to read and love reading as much as I do.
Hell yeah.
Nice.
All right. Thanks, folks. We'll see you all in hell. Praise Allah.
Sunday's the day for my next offender. A bit of Pivarek, you know the beer juice close. I've had a little too much bourbon, and Norman's talking shit about the fucking Pope. And I get down in the same way. Up on the roof like a cop's coming, and naked Samuel is feeling dangerous. I'm out to lunch here in New Orleans. This woman doesn't look like I remember